Welcome back to the monthly reset. I love the month of August because it is my birthday month. There's always a lot of things to do, kind of almost like the end of summer. And so I really enjoy just this transition month because my favorite months are usually the fall months, like September to, like October, November. That is like my favorite time of the year. So I'm kind of excited like as we get closer to those months. I live in Texas, so it is unbearably hot in August. That's the only bummer. But genuinely, I do love the month of August. So if you're new here, my name is Monica Denais, and I am a therapist based in Dallas, Texas. And I'm also a content creator on YouTube, and I make content about mental health, lifestyle, wellness. So if you're into that stuff, make sure you consider subscribing to the channel. But the way I usually do these monthly resets are we talk about July, the previous month, we reflect, we share favorites or things we're looking forward to, and that's just how it goes. So I'm actually going to share a few new things that are coming up for me, and just like also a new format that I want to do the monthly resets. I always play around to figure out what's the best format for me, but this time I wanted to do a reflection, and instead of, I usually type out my reflections using my computer, but instead I wanted to end up writing them. I got this like it's just a regular little notebook from the brand Moleskine. I think that's how you pronounce it. I got it at Barnes and Noble. I really just wanted to free write a little bit more. I'm kind of in that. I go through stages where I want to have prompts and other stages where I just want to free write. So I decided to just do my reflection and free write. And I've been using this for morning pages, which is basically brain dumping things at the beginning of the day. Like you have to write 3 pages long of journaling just to get everything out of your head before you even start using your phone or you start consuming. So it has been so helpful for me. So I ended up doing that this morning and do some reflection. So I will share my reflection questions. That way, if you want to use them yourself, you can use them to reflect for the month of like the previous month. So the first question that I always ask myself is, how did I feel overall this month? I want to say I felt very accomplished, but I also felt like I had mixed emotions this month. I decided to not drink any alcohol. I visited family, which love family, but it could always bring up mixed emotions being in your old environment. So it was definitely kind of just a mix of emotions overall, like happy, sad, like it was just like a lot of different things. Overall, the month of July was really great. Like I loved getting to spend time with my family, getting to spend time with my sister, my mom. We were celebrating her birthday, so it was really nice. But all in all, it's always hard coming back from a trip and then having to readjust back to like your normal routine. So that has been the struggle for me, just trying to get back into a normal routine. But overall, month was good. And the next question that I asked myself is, did I make rest a priority this month? I feel like I did not make rest a priority because I was kind of like on the grind. I had mentioned in previous vlogs videos that the month of like the summer months are super slow for like therapists, at least for me. And one of the things that I end up doing on the months, like on the summer months, is just engaging in new projects, new opportunities. And so I was recording a lot of new videos. If you haven't been subscribed, I have a new series called the Early 30s Wellness Diaries. So definitely check it out because I am vlogging a lot of wellness content, a lot of just like day in the lives of a therapist. So those are going to be so much fun. But yeah, I didn't make a priority because I was grinding. I was having just a lot of time working on things, thinking about like content. And so resting was not a very priority, but I did spend a lot of time with my partner. I did spend a lot of time, like I said, with family. And so it was just a busy month overall. And I was glad that I was able to accomplish like getting to do all that stuff while maintaining a balance. So even though I didn't like rest, like there wasn't intentional pockets of rest, I think it was still a really good month overall. And then the next question that I asked myself is, did I make progress on the goals I chose to focus on this month? I'll put the goals for July here. This is how I'm doing this things different because usually I make a section for these goals, but I'm just going to share by reflecting on this question, which is, did I make progress? So my first goal that I wanted to make, or it was more of like a habit, was to get 6.5 steps a day. I did not do this every day. The first week of July, I actually challenged myself to walk 8,000 steps, and I was so great that first week. I did 8,000 steps, but then things just didn't go the best. They just didn't go the best. I ended up just like kind of falling off. I again went back home, and so it was a lot of like not being consistent. I'll show you like I'll put a picture right here of just like my tracker for like my steps. Yeah, I didn't really do a really good job, but I did average 6,300 steps for the month, which is pretty good, but not what I wanted. I wanted those 6.5 steps, but oh well. The next goal that I had was to try a new workout class. I tried a new workout class. So you will see it in a vlog, my experience, so stay tuned for that. It wasn't the best experience, so I'll tell you that, but all in all, I did try a new workout class. And then the next one was to stick to my calorie deficit, which if you haven't seen my wellness routine video, I talk about that I am currently in a caloric deficit to help me lose weight, lose body fat as well. And so I did lose 2 pounds this month because I was able to be consistent with my calorie deficit despite like having a lot of nights where I went out or I spent time with like family. That was great. I was able to really keep a balance. Also, I wasn't drinking, so that really helped too. I don't even drink anymore as much, but just being mindful of what like consuming alcohol was such a big game changer. I think I only drank once, and that was on my mom's birthday. I had one drink and honestly felt bad about it because I was like, oh my gosh, I told myself I wasn't gonna drink and I had one drink, but hey, we were celebrating and it was totally fine. But it's hard when you're kind of a recovering perfectionist to not see things in black and white when reality is that there's 31 days in the month and you only had one drink. That's a pretty big accomplishment. And I got to try a bunch of different ways to make mocktails. I even got the courage to ask like bartenders to make a mocktail for me because I wasn't going to sacrifice still like going out with friends or going out with my partner. Like I still wanted to have fun. I just didn't want to drink. So something to say there that, yeah, it wasn't as like 100% successful, but overall, I'm considering that a win. Then, oh my gosh, I put decrease average phone screen time to 3 to 4 hours. I don't know who I thought I was because, again, I told you that I spent a lot of time recording and just like thinking about content. So I consumed a lot of content, which I wasn't proud of. So this was a joke. I think I averaged like about 7 hours a day for my screen time. I'm going to move this to try again because I just didn't feel like I had systems in place to be able to reduce my screen time. And it also affects just like creatively, if like I want to be inspired and things like that, like I need to make sure that I have a way to feel inspired. The next goal was to read the ACOTAR series. I still need one more book. I'm in the last book. I only need a couple of pages. So I'm just going to move that for the month of August. I've been really loving this series. I didn't know I could get to fantasy. I went into it for the spice, but I got into it for the plot. Like it was really good. So the last thing that I want to do in terms of reflecting is to share some of the wins that I'm celebrating this month, and that is my weight loss win. So really excited for that. Staying active while visiting family. So I was active while I was visiting family before I even left. I know I left on a Wednesday. I came back on a Sunday. Before I left on that Wednesday, I did my morning workout. I worked out early just so I could get the workout in. And then the following day, I woke up early to take a walk by the beach. And then the following day, I booked a class for me and my sister to do Pilates. So I was really active. Like I was moving my body while still maintaining being able to be present with my family. So that's a win for me because before I would make the excuse like, oh no, I'm just gonna completely not do anything. And before I didn't find, workouts and things like that relaxing, but now it's part of who I am and it's relaxing to me and it helps me also just like it's a coping skill for me. Especially when I'm feeling frustrated or like I don't have control over things, like that has been so helpful. Then the next wins that I'm celebrating is brand opportunities. I was going through a season of rejection where I was just getting rejected by a lot of brands that I really wanted to work with. And they just either, like, again, I didn't have the numbers, which I can totally understand. It's a business at the end of the day. But I was just really bummed because I really want to work with brands, honestly, that do crave relationships. And I just feel like I do shout out a lot of people organically, and sometimes I'll see creators like you've used the product once and then they're sharing it, and I just feel like that's a little bit just not genuine and authentic. But again, they might have the numbers, and that's the name of the game, right? It's a business. So, but I have been grateful to get some new brand opportunities that I'm excited about that you guys will be seeing in a couple of the videos that I have coming up. And then YouTube growth, really excited for growing on YouTube. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers, which is major compared to when we first started, and it's so cool to see the YouTube channel grow, and also for me to grow as a creator too, and just learn how to get out of my comfort zone and do more things. And then the last thing win is just improvement in my mood. I was really down in June, really sad, really lonely, really just like out of it. Like I was just not thriving in June. I was letting my circumstance just get the best of me, whether that was the financial circumstance of having to not get like the monthly money that I'm used to getting, or I had to make a hard decision to decrease hours for my virtual assistant because honestly there wasn't work to be done. Like I usually like to delegate things because I don't have time for them, right? And this time I had a lot of space in my time. So that was a hard decision for like any business owner to do things like that. Like you also have to consider that this person also has a life and a family, and you don't want to reduce hours, right? So that was really hard. But overall, I think even though I did hard things, it overall helped my mood and just helped me figure out my next steps. So that I wouldn't be a victim of my circumstance. So that is all of the recap for the month of July. So now the exciting part is to talk about August and new goals, habits. I am really excited because if you do see my monthly resets, you know that I've been tracking my habits with a like habit tracker that I got from Etsy, and I've been doing that since the beginning of January. However, I found myself like around the June, July that I wasn't tracking. One, because it was more like I had to do it on a computer. And so I want to try to do less things on the computer. So I decided to get just a physical habit tracker because my planner has a habit tracker, but it's like a weekly thing. And I like to see things in an overall view. So this is the habit tracker. This new habit tracker that I got from Shelby Sacco. She is a content creator who talks a lot about like creating habits and routines and sticking to those habits and routines. And I love her podcast, Sat to Savage. And I've just got really inspired by her content and really wanted to track my habits, pen paper instead of digitally, since I'm trying to spend less time on my phone, on my computer, So let's do the habits right here so you can see. So my first habit, and this could feel excessive, but I really think that a lot of these are things that I usually already do, and I just want to be able to see it in a full view. So I want to do daily movement / workouts. So daily movement could be walks, could be stretching, could be anything. And then workouts are obviously like specific workouts that I do. So I just want to be able to move my body daily. It doesn't have to be like, again, a specific like strength workout. It just has to be some kind of movement for the month of August. And then I would like to get 7 to 8K steps. Again, I know you're probably like, Monica, you didn't even get 6.5K steps last month. That's fine. I'm going to challenge myself. I want to challenge myself to get 7 to 8K steps. And then I want to journal every day. I've been really loving to use my affirmation journal, again, from the same creator, Savage, and this is just an affirmation and gratitude journal that I've been loving, and so I just want to continue to journal and also use that blank notebook page where I could just write my thoughts and ideas. And then I want to decrease my screen time to 5 hours or less and being more mindful, because right now I average about seven hours on my phone. So I want to do 5 hours on my phone. And one of the things that I've been using to do that I just found that I've been loving is this app called Jomo. Let me do a little video, that way I could like share that with you. But basically you could do a little screen time budget. So my budget is 5 hours. It'll tell you how much screen time you have left. You can do rules, like I do mindful morning. So from the hours of 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I won't be using my phone, like specific apps on my phone, and I'm only allowed specific apps on the phone, like my workout app, podcast, or Spotify. Conscious use, basically anytime you want to get into your phone, you have to take like a 10-second like mini break, and then it'll open up the phone for you to use. And that's just what it is. And then you could do conditions where if I haven't reached 5,000 steps by 7 p.m., it blocks all the apps that are usually distracting. Because now I can have the option, do I take another walk so I can reach those 5,000 steps? Or do I just take the L and not use those apps? So I really like it. There's so much more. I just started using it like last week. Really, really like it. And I feel like I've already decreased. It says here, your screen time has decreased by 32% since you installed Jomo. And like I said before, I had 7 hours. So that is one of my habits that I want to use. And now I have a plan. So that's the best thing. Also, it does have like a free 3-day trial, but overall I think it's like $30 for the year, which I think it's a good investment if you are looking for apps. If apps have not worked for you in the past, totally understand, might not be your thing. But that's one of my habits. The next habit is fiction reading, which is already something that I pretty much do every day. Then intentional self-care activity. So any type of self-care, so a bubble bath, cooking for myself, like meal planning. It could be journaling as well. It could be, I've been wanting to get back into painting by numbers. I have this one like painting that I haven't done, and so I really want to be able to finish it by the month of August, and just be intentional about creating that time where I'm not using my phone or anything, just like painting. So I did that add intentional self-care activity. Then I put night kitchen cleanup. So that is just before I go to bed, just cleaning up the kitchen. It just helps for the next day to feel good. And then wake up before 7 a.m. I'm still struggling with waking up early. I do wake up early most days, but sometimes it's hard. I need accountability. And so I'm trying to wake up at least 6 to 6:30 a.m. so I could get my workout and everything and not make the excuse that I didn't have time for it. And then in bed by 9 p.m. This helps too. This helps me just prioritize not using my phone, getting into bed, and getting quality sleep. And then my calorie deficit, which is just tracking. So tracking and making sure I'm reaching my caloric deficit. So that's something that I do every day. And then I did have like weekly and monthly habits, but these are kind of like, we're just playing around with them. I love more daily than weekly. It's hard to track weekly and monthly habits. But one of the weekly ones is just to upload a YouTube video every week. The other one is Instagram free Saturdays. So that I'm not saying that I'm going to do YouTube free Saturdays or completely social media free Saturdays, because sometimes like we wake up super early. And sometimes I've done everything. I've done all my productive stuff, and I'm just like, I just want a little YouTube time. So I'm just doing Instagram free, because that's the one app where I feel like I scroll mindlessly versus intentionally. And then the next weekly habit is to do weekly walks with my hubby. We've been doing this for the month of July, and we've been really enjoying doing Saturday walks. And yeah, it's just time where we get to spend quality time together. And we love mornings. The morning time is our favorite time. And then for monthly, I just want to spend time with a friend. So just once a month, always spend time with a friend, just making intentional time with a friend. But those are all of my habits for the month of August. I'm so excited for the habits that I have coming up for August. It might feel like a lot. We will see. I will show you guys my tracker, because I am going to track this time. But now let's go ahead and talk about monthly favorites. That way I can share with you what I've been loving in my life and in my business, and maybe it's something that you would be interested in. Okay, so for my monthly favorites, I have been loving, again, my journal, Sad to Savage. I'll link everything down below. Been loving this journal because it has two sides. So it has a side where it says, today I'm grateful for, and then I am. So where you write things like I'm strong, I'm smart, I am responsible, I'm resilient. What you're grateful for, I put here going for a walk, walking 2 miles, pushing through anxiety. Like those are things that I write on my affirmation and gratitude journal. And then the new app called Jomo. I've been really enjoying that app. It's just been so helpful for me to be intentional and mindful. And then a podcast episode that helped me just start looking for this app. It was the Mel Robbins show. I don't even listen to that show. I just think it just came up on like things you would like. And there was an episode. It's called Before You Waste Your Time, and it was with this Harvard researcher. I think it was the person, he does a Healthy Gamer. I think his podcast is called Healthy Gamer. Anyway, well, this psychiatrist, I think it's a psychiatrist, he talked about the reason why we're so addicted to our phone and media and what we can do to decrease the time spent in our phone. And he framed it in a very different way. He said, instead of thinking about like stopping yourself from using your phone, it's like, how can you use your phone in an intentional way? So this is why I like Jomo, because it doesn't say don't use your phone. It's more so like, okay, when you do use your phone, how do you want to feel about it? How do you want to feel good about? Because I would feel good using Instagram if I was using it for the purpose of my business. But if I was just using it to scroll mindlessly, then I won't like that. I like Instagram. If maybe I'm looking for date night ideas, I wouldn't mind using it, you know? So there are things where I wouldn't mind using certain apps for. And so, yeah. Then the next favorite is actually a business favorite that I've been just exploring recently that I use, but I wasn't using it to its full capacity, is a software called Riverside. And they actually are the software that I use to record podcast interviews. So the podcast interviews you guys like, I use Riverside, and I want to be able to promote my podcast a little bit more. So I am playing around with creating small clips so that I could put them on social, on like YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels, to be able to promote my podcast. I've been really liking using Riverside. It's been really helpful because it creates magic links, which are basically little short clips that could potentially be good for sharing on social media. So I've been playing around with them, and you might see some of them as YouTube Shorts because I want to be able to share the content that I have. Like I have over 100 podcast episodes, and I want to be able to share some of those like video podcast episodes with you guys. And the only way that people will discover the podcast is if I share it more. So that's one of the things that I've been really loving for my business. And then favorite creators that I've been loving on Instagram, one of them is called Sarah. I forgot her last name. But Sarah, I'll put all of her like socials on like in the description, but she does Day in the Life Dallas, and I just really enjoy just seeing the things that she does around Dallas. And the same thing goes for Chelsea Collins. She also does a lot of like wellness content, things that she loves doing in Dallas, and I get really inspired like when she's like, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm like, I need to go for a walk. And so it's really cool to find creators that not only are from the city that you're in, but also like are like exploring different parts of the city. And then one thing that I've been loving that I've been recently watching is Pretty Little Liars. I actually never finished the series when it was on, and I just been wanting to watch Pretty Little Liars. So I'm almost done with season 1. I know the ending already, but I want to know how that ending came to be, and don't spoil it for me. Like I get it might not be the best show, but I want to see it. And yeah, so I've been really enjoying that. And then things that I'm looking forward for the month of August is the first week of August, I am actually going to Vegas, which I've never been to Vegas. I'm not going over there to gamble though, or like to do like the casinos or anything. I'm actually going to go see Chris Brown. This is a gift from my mom for my birthday. And yeah, my little millennial heart is so excited to go see Chris Brown. And then I'm also excited to watch the It Ends With Us movie. So this was a book adaptation, which I'm really excited about to go see it with a friend. I also have a dance class scheduled on my birthday, which I'm so excited about. And of course, my birthday. I'm just excited to celebrate my birthday. So those are all the things that I'm looking forward to for the month of August. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this video, watching this video, and just like all my new habits. And I will be doing more vlogs. That way you can actually see me putting these habits into practice. But I hope you guys consider subscribing to the channel. If you love this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. It helps. Make sure that you comment because it helps tell the algorithm, hey, this girl is interesting to watch. So make sure that you do all of that to support. I hope to see you guys in my next video.